Hey Divine Rebels and Divine Rebel Youngbloods, this is Bohemian with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings, and today we are doing a reshoot. I already did this one. This is the one that was 25% loaded in YouTube, and I was clearing room to make space for the Out the Mud one, and I accidentally deleted it on my computer, and I was like, why isn't it loading? And it's because I had accidentally deleted it. So here we go. I still have the cards to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and just let it flow, let it go, and get back into it with some fresh intuition and reread the cards for you. Okay, so we have 4 options here. Number 1, we have a white dice with number 3 on it. Number 2, we have a black dice with number 7. Number 3, we have a green dice with number 4, and number 5, we have a red dice with number 5, or sorry, number 4. It got me. You have a red dice with number 5 on it. All right, so 1 is white dice, 2 is black dice, 3 is a green dice, and 4 is red dice. So go ahead and pick your option and see, are you a real one to your loved ones? You know, let's not lie. Are you showing up for them? What do they think? Okay, what's your energy in their life? Are you a real one? Okay, or do you need to bounce back and make sure that you are? All right, thank you for actually clicking on this read, because I know, like, let's be honest, a lot of people are only clicking on reads that are blowing air up their ass. Now, compliments are good, you know, and nice little themes, but we got to do more than just click on the ones that flatter us and, you know, blast everybody else. So it's good to check in with ourselves. So this is a authenticity check-in. Hold on to your butts, and just like us, you whack. All right, y'all, here we go. We're gonna get into it. All right, for those of you that chose number 1 and the white dice that had the number 3 on top of it, let's get into your reading. Are you a real one for your loved ones? Okay, we have the World, 5 of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, we have the Ace of Clubs, the 2 of Hearts reversed, and the 3 of Hearts. Okay, so this person, your loved ones, feel like for you, they they feel like it is hard to get you to show up for them. Okay, they feel like you might put on the face of being there for everybody, and, like, you know, to the world you show this energy like you handle your business and like you're caring for the world, and maybe in some ways that's true. You could have a Libra, Aquarius, or Capricorn, Sagittarius placements, but when it comes down to it, they feel like if they are actually in need, you don't put your philosophy to use, or you're very hard on people, your loved ones, when they are going through tough situations. So, like, for instance, maybe you're like, oh yeah, no one should be homeless and things of that nature, but then when they go through a rough situation and need somewhere to stay, you might start off nice, and then you end up, you know, looking down on them, treating them worse, taking the power in that situation, or you're like, you don't help them, or you're someone who, like, lectures them first and is, like, angry and frustrated before you go and actually help. You could have Taurus placements as well, Aries, Leo, Sag, okay, and some Cancer. So people feel like you are very hard on them, and it's hard when they are needing backup to get you to participate. You can be somebody who really cares about, like, public image, the real world, like, professional way of how to treat somebody, or like the social, like, what does the rest of the social group think, and things of that nature. So maybe you're like, well, what would the neighbors think if, you know, I'm over here letting you sleep on the couch? Or, you know, there's different levels to it for you guys. Some of you, like I said, initially it'll seem like, oh yeah, definitely I'll help you, but then you end up resenting the people that you help, and changing the dynamics as if they're suddenly beneath you or something, or like they owe you, or you go and, you know, are gossiping and frustrated to the rest of the family or friends while you're helping someone. I mean, just look at her face here. She's like trying to be Marilyn Monroe, right? And she's like, ugh. So you can have a negative way of treating your loved ones to other loved ones, okay? And they're aware of that, and they feel like it's hard to maintain a positive connection to you that feels kind of safe and healthy. A lot of you have some tempers or are just very judgmental. So the Queen of Wands is reversed, right? Very temperamental, very self-oriented and selfish sometimes. We have the Public Defender, but reversed. So again, they feel like you don't defend and protect us, and it takes you a long time before you'll eventually show up for people who need it. You might be like, well, I had a hard time too, I got through it, you know, I'm fine, it happens, I don't know why everyone else expects me to help them. Okay, we have fixed signs here as well. We said Aquarius and Taurus. There is Scorpio and Leo. We did say Leo actually too. So yeah, it's just not a pleasant experience a lot of times for others. They feel like, you know, sometimes you might not even know that your loved ones are going through something until after, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, why didn't they tell me? And it's because, like, when we have told you, you ended up turning it against us, or you helped us until someone else in the family or friend group was like, ew, really, you're helping them? And then you're like, oh, I don't have to? Okay. And then you kind of turn your back or start gossiping or using it against people as well. Yeah, people just feel like they don't want you to act like they're a charity case, or like, yeah, like they're somehow less than you every time they go through something, or, you know, every time they have a breakup, or if they're not the best at relationships or finances or something, or if they don't care about their looks the way that you do. So there's a, depending on who you are and kind of how you rock yourself, right? I'm definitely seeing some fire signs who you might not be the nicest if you have friends or family who don't, you know, keep up on social media and the party circuit and like, look how you look, all right, all this hot girl summer and stuff. Some of you are more about your finances and like your possessions and stuff, and when people might need help, or they're not as good at or maybe they've just had hard knocks with like their job and career and things like that, you can misunderstand them and look down on them in some ways. So there's different levels to it. So your loved ones feel like they wish you could live up to the social standard or like the public image that you say for yourself, and that you could you know, remember that you're not always perfect too, and not be so hard on them. And yeah, I feel like even those who will gossip and kind of backbite with you behind your back are like, wow, I can't believe that they treat so and so like that after they help them. So it's kind of like those people are going to be messy anyway, so don't be messy with them. Yeah, yeah, and try not to begrudge people every time that they need, you know, some help, or they need someone to confide in. Like, life isn't going to be all super light and butterflies and not emotionally messy. People go through real things, and everybody grieves things differently. So for instance, you could be like, well, I went through tough things too. Like, I know they went through foster care, but they need to get it together now. Like, you know, they're making the family look bad, and I don't want to be around them. So there can be a lot of people in this group that kind of disown people that should be their loved ones because of the people not handling their struggles the way that you think. All right, so that's how people are really feeling. Let's roll your dice and get a little bit more. We have the 6 energy. So people want, like, the 2, the 3, the 6, people really want to partner with you. I feel like you have people around you that keep trying to hope that in the end game that you'll, you know, see their side of the situation, you'll come out of it and learn how to be more compassionate and bond with them. And people wait around a long time. You guys could really have a lot of Aries or Taurus. It's like people wait around a long time to see if you'll grow out of your hot-headedness, or if you'll start being more compassionate to people who are different than you. In the family, you could definitely have Cancer, Virgo, or Capricorn as well. So like earth signs, Cancers are kind of known for being tough on their loved ones if they're different than them, and yet, you know, people really want to love you. Your loved ones want to love you. So that's how they're feeling. They're feeling like you might be judging them a lot, but they're actually kind of pitying when you're not understanding them sometimes, and when you can be rough on them and on their growth cycles and things of that nature, or when you're acting like shaming or embarrassed of them. They're trying to hold space for you as well. and wait out your temper, okay? So they hope in the end that, you know, they will see true compassion and be able to like really connect with you, and you guys can have a good future and just be more stable and, you know, kind of find balance with your different energies. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you. Number one, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. All right, for those of you that chose number 2 and the black dice over here, this is your reading for, are you a real one for your loved ones? Okay. So I can see in many ways, yes, you are somebody who is very real with your loved ones. There are times where you can be very different than them and a bit escapist, and you know, they have to kind of wonder like, okay, do they have love for us? Like, they just disappeared, they're not around. I'm seeing big Aquarius, Sag, Aries energy in this. All right, Leo as well. So it's like, okay, where did they go? They disappeared. Are they not really, you know, down for me after all? Or were they just thinking I was weird? Because I feel like you're very different than a lot of your loved ones, your family and friends, spouse, whoever. And so they feel like sometimes, oh, like, are you just avoiding me? Like, what's going on? Where are you? Like, I thought you thought it, you know, we were so cool and it was so fun to learn from each other. So some of you, you're very interested in people of different cultures and languages. You have a lot of like a widespread friend group, but you might just disappear sometimes. All right. But at the same time, people see you as like being there when people feel lost. Like when they feel lost, when they feel you know, like they're not safe in the world, when they feel like they need a friend, you know, and they've been maybe they've been lost contact for a while, things of that nature. People feel like you do have a very, very, very good heart with the Ace of Cups here. We could have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and they feel like you will make an effort and go the distance to reconnect with people or to meet people in your travels. So that could be why some of you travel a lot, and when you travel, you know, you could kind of be forgetful about keeping up with your friends and things of that nature, and just go off and do your own thing. Or sometimes you can get overwhelmed if people aren't the same as you with your philosophies and the way you roll in circles in your life, kind of thing, or if they're not on the same path to your passions. We have Foresight with Mars and Aries here. Oh, I didn't tell you your cards. We have 3 of Wands, Temperance reversed, Ace of Cups, 7 of Spades reversed, 2 of Clubs, and King of Clubs. Okay. Yeah, but overall, people feel like you're somebody who will really show up for others. I feel like a lot of you can be social justice warriors. You really answer the call to action for things, but then sometimes you might get burnt out, and then you kind of disappear. And they're like, where did you go? Come back, boo-boo. Where did you go? All right. But people feel like at the end of the day, your heart's in the right place. You might like miscalculate them, or sometimes you just have your own version of what a person's like, and you don't see that they're also an additional way, and so they can feel like, hey, this is who I am, and they're telling you for a while, and it takes you a while to catch up to that, and then you're like, oh, you're like that, and they're like, look, I've been telling you for 3 months. I like this, not that. All right, so you can, you know, be in your own energy sometimes and just assume that everybody's more like you than they are, as much as you are also curious and you bring in people who are very different than you. But at the end of the day, people feel like you don't have any guile in you. Like they feel like you're a truthful, honest person, and that's why you're kind of in your own energy. You might have a lot of fixed energy, especially Leo, but could also be Scorpio, Taurus, or Aquarius. Yeah, especially Leo and Aquarius. So they feel like you're very honest about who you are, you're very upfront about who you are, and you're very reliable. You kind of stay the same. They do feel like your attention and your curiosity is hard to grasp. They might have to have a lot of ingenuity to keep your attention about things, but when it matters, you are all heart and very, very heart-centered, and you will show up for your loved ones. If there is an emergency, if you have to go the distance for them, if anyone's trying to hurt them or mess with them, if they are in need of something, like this one, they're bringing them food. It's like you're their personal what is it, first response system. You really, really are. If somebody's like, hey, I'm out at the bar and someone messed with me, like boom, you're rolling, you're there, period. Someone's house is on fire, someone's going through a hard time. I feel like in those times you're not evasive. You will make the choice to go and have their back. You can go and help your friend, you know, they're like trash their house from a party, or you know, very intense life situations, situations that are weird and wacky and stuff. You will have heart and compassion and show up for your friends. Again, there are times that you're just kind of checked out from the world and they're like, where are you at? And it could just be because a lot of you have very universal energy and you need your own personal time sometimes, and you might not know how to always articulate that to your friends and family members. But at the end of the day, people see you as someone who loves knowledge, who loves connecting and loves learning about people. Once you realize, oh wait, you're like really super different than me. You're not just the same as, you know, I am, or do things how I do. Sometimes you can kind of pontificate on your own philosophies and, well, if you just did it this way, then you would understand, kind of thing. And people are like, oh my gosh, like I'm not like you. I'm not going to move cross country because of, you know, this philosophy and this new investment in Bitcoin and the stars being at this angle or whatever. Like, you guys can really just kind of chase your synchronicities and your law of attraction and all that kind of stuff, and just be out there sometimes and disappear. Like, I'm gonna go off the grid for 3 weeks, bye y'all. And people are like, what? Hello, like, gee. But then you do usually end up coming back and showing up for your friends. You know what it's reminding me of? It's reminding me of That's So Raven, all right, or Raven's house, or Raven's home now. How sometimes she can be so like in her own energy and her own plans and plots and her own foresight, okay, literally, that she'll kind of miss what's going on with her family and friends. But then she'll come back and she'll be like, oh shit, like I learned that lesson, I'm so sorry y'all. And she ends up like saving the day or helping rectify the situation and having a lot of heart and compassion for her friends. That's the energy that a lot of your friends and family feel about you. And we got the 6 again. So again, you are very loved. You are somebody that people want to have partnerships with and to have in their life, and they, you know, appreciate you, and they like to see past your faults and work on having and maintaining a relationship. People want to join into your projects. You might lose contact with friends and family a lot as you go about life and do certain things, but I feel like it always comes back around in the end, and there is a lot of love for you. So, you know, try to make sure to keep contact and let people know what's going on with you. Don't disappear too hard on them. I think some of you, it's your way of handling it. Like if you get sad, or if you get down, or if you get a little bit existential crisis-y, okay, you just kind of super withdraw and block yourself off from everyone, and then when you're ready, you come back and you're like recharged and full of love. But try to let your loved ones be there for you as well in those times. And I do see that this energy can go both ways. So some of you have friends who will show up for you in these same ways and get you out of your reckless trouble as well. So that's what I'm seeing for you, number 2. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. All right, for those of you that chose number 3 with the green dice on number 4, let's see. Are you a real one for your loved ones? Okay. So your loved ones can kind of struggle with your energy and your vibe. Okay, they can feel like you are more likely to they feel like you're more likely to be in your own vices and in your own insecurities or ego and struggle than to show up for them. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands reversed, strength, 7 of Wands reversed again, Jack of Diamonds reversed, the 4 of Clubs, and then the 7 of Clubs, which is the 7 of Wands, which is like, wow, like 3 7 of Wands in this reading. Okay, we have Mars and Leo energy showing up, tons of Leo energy, could be Aries or Sag as well, and we do have some Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus placements. Excuse me. So we literally, with the 4 of Clubs in here, he's like, looks like he's gonna snort this line right here, and we have this kind of struggling with vices with the Strength card. So they can just feel like you can be so much battling your own demon, so to speak, or in your own troubles, and not always wanting to work with them, that you don't really think about showing up for your loved ones a lot. You might be more looking at how you can live in the fast lane and get what you can get, and or maybe just like doing that kind of sad boy shit, gender neutral term, where it's like you're in your feelings about your troubles and what you've gone through and how the whole world is to you and how difficult everything is for you, that you don't always really pay attention to, like literally leaving them hanging. Okay, this 7 of clubs, this person's literally leaving their loved ones hanging and looking the other way for what they want in the distance. The Jack of Pentacles here has no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted, and yet it's reversed. So it's almost like either you feel like you would be wasting your time showing up for your friends and family, or like, oh well, it doesn't really matter. So it's like that ego that can be sad on itself. I can see these like on the lower vibration, some energy that certain signs can get into, like earth sign combos that are in like water houses, or like Gemini Leo energy that is set up in certain ways, a lot of times in water houses too, where it just feels like you're not achieving your best. So, oh well, like I'm in my misery, I'm on my Eeyore shit, and I'm just gonna go be messy and do what I need to do to feel good, because you know I could never probably save the day or show up for my loved ones anyway, so oh to hell with that, let me just chase a good time. Okay, so a lot of you can have that kind of tactic with your friends and family, where it's like a crisis is going on in the house and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna get some food and go back to my room and be sad about how no one ever shows up for me in life. And it's like, okay, you could have shown up for them right there, or you could have cared about the outside world. Okay, this person upright would be courage and facing, like they're facing police brutality in this card. In this deck over here, decks will link down below, 7 of Wands reverse, valor, going out and protesting, protecting for others, and yet people don't see you as doing that. They don't see you as giving them, you know, a small act of kindness, as giving them a helping hand, and you know, paying attention to what's going on with them in life. They might feel like, okay, yeah, I've tried to start, you know, a conversation thread of like, you know, 7 times about how life is kind of hard for me right now, and you're not hearing me. You're just kind of in your own woes and in your own vices about life and what you need to feel, and like, oh, what I can't accomplish and the attention I'm not getting. And you know, people just feel like you can be pretty self-absorbed and worried about your own setbacks, or you know, just that energy like, oh well, I've tried hard enough and I guess I'm just not a person who would do that. It's just my personality. So for some of you, you're like, oh, it's just my personality, right? I can't think about the greater world, it makes me tired, oh whatever. And you might just write it in as a trait of your own instead of working on it and connecting. But you're watching this video, so you are trying to work on it, which is a good move, and I'm proud of you. Okay, and I don't mean that condescendingly. I mean, we all need encouragement. So as a Pisces, I like when I'm like, yay, I did the dishes, be proud of me. Right? Adulting, regular mundane stuff that we have to work on ourselves with deserves applause. Okay, so here's some applause for all the Leo placements where you're like, damn, I wanted to click off of this and just like 5 times, but I'm still listening to this somehow. There's a reason, and your guides are here like, calm down the negative aspects of the ego, because we do need positive aspects of ego that care about ourselves and remind us to be selfish in healthy ways and things of that nature. But right now it's saying, okay, check in with yourself, because it's not always that way. Okay, could be too much licking of the personal wounds, not caring about our friends and family wounds, not caring about the greater world. Also, what I'm getting for you guys is you might seem like you care about your loved ones, but like, let's say that your loved ones are from migrant families, and when subjects come up and you see migrant families being torn apart and thrown in cages and in concentration camps, and children locked up in concentration camps right now in the US, you don't care. And so your loved ones who are immigrants are sitting here, or migrants, they're sitting here looking at you like, wow, you really don't give a damn. Like, that's me right there. Like, you don't care who I am. Like, you wouldn't have my back. You're not real with me. And so there's a lot of you who could actually be doing some tokenism with your friends and family and might not think so. And they're just like, wow, I feel like I might as well just jump out this window right now and just like go. Like, I don't feel welcome in your home on the real, because you know, you don't even care to learn to talk differently from stereotypical language. You don't even care to listen to me. Not what you think is okay to say, but what the people who are from, being under that oppression care. And when they try to teach you about who they are and what's respectful and stuff, y'all ain't hearing it. Okay, it's like if anything makes you uncomfortable or it's too much work, you guys might be like, oh, why is everyone so PC, or like, it's not that serious, you knew I was joking, different things. So there'll be different shades of that for you guys, so please hear it instead of being personally defensive and in that negative ego energy, like, oh no, well, I donated a soup kitchen, so it couldn't be me. I have a black friend, so it couldn't be me. That's the point, right? You don't hear when people are trying to further correct where there's disrespect being had. Okay, and so it's like, man, it's just a small kindness. Please pronounce my name correctly. Please care when I have a greater concern in the world. Please don't be disrespectful of other people who had different family planning. Like, I relate to it. I'm also a single parent, right? So that's how your loved ones can be looking at you sometimes when you're judging the rest of the world, or when you just don't have the energy to care about the rest of the world. That can be tough on them. So I feel like a lot, you guys might be creating a situation where other people won't have your back, and then you'll be like, see, no one's ever there for me, like I'm so loyal. But it's like, kind of being the same person all the time and just being around and being stubborn isn't the same thing as being loyal. And if you don't get to know who people really are and show that you care about their fundamental safety and their troubles and things, and people feel like you always leave them hanging, or like, yeah, you talk to them every day, but it's about yourself, and you don't really recognize that in some ways. Or you might be someone who listens but somehow always turns the conversation back on how that's you, or it relates to you in certain ways, different things like that. It's like, kind of like, you're gonna look around and these people are not gonna have your back at the end of the day, or you might have that pattern because people are reciprocating your energy and they feel like, well, you don't really care about me at the end of the day, so I'm not gonna break my nails over here trying to save you from yourself, is that kind of energy. So this is some pretty tough love energy, but when we're talking about being real ones, we need to know. Okay, the crew might be kind of tired of showing up for you, feeling like you wouldn't have their back. Okay, and so you might want to show some more kindnesses to people. You might want to, go send some gifts, make your home more welcoming for them, not for what your show is or your pride or ego. I do see some Libra energy as well. So we talked about this. You guys might have chosen option 1 too. And we talked about that, Libra likes to do as much as is publicly, and Leo too, all right? And Capricorn can do it too. Different signs, Virgo, Taurus, that do as much as is publicly, pat me on the back worthy. And it's about like making people feel how you want them to feel in the roles you want them to play, and then leave me alone. I don't want to get my hands too dirty. I don't want to have to actually go out and do something for the world and actually change things or change how I interact with others. I just want it to seem nice enough that you guys shut up and stop talking about your issues. And so people kind of feel like that with you. They feel like you might have that, like, don't disturb my vibe, I'm so-called good vibes, but really it's like you don't see people and the situations, the world, for what it really is, and you wouldn't show up to change it. Okay, so that could be something to work on. Definitely. We have the 5 of dice, the green dice. So people want to hear you be more heart-centered. They want you, but I feel like they want you to walk it like you talk it sometimes. Some of you are big talkers on it, but you don't make the actual adjustments. And some of you are just like, you shit talk, and again, you just don't show love that you care. You say things that are slurs or different things like that, or things that are like, they don't like you calling them a certain name and you do. There's like just a big thing about that in this one. So people want you to like watch your line of thinking and your communication with them, and be willing to augment when different viewpoints come in, and when people give you feedback like, I don't like that in this relationship, and things of that nature. So you guys might want to be more open to that and be more heart to heart with the person. It's not like namaste. That energy is not like, oh, I see how I want you to be divinely, how makes me not have to work on my traumas and wounds and face myself. Like, no, namaste is I truly see you from my inner divinity, and yours sees me. Okay, and people want to have a more truthful connection with you and be able to be their unique selves and not feel like they have to put on a bunch of armor and protection and stuff to be around you, because you can be a little bit roughshod and don't care about their feelings. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for you. Number 3s, I'll give you a little kudos, you made it to the end of the reading, but let's see some real change so you can have some healthy relationships, and so you can have loved ones who aren't thinking about, well, I'm just gonna let the car hit you when you walk across the street next time, then since you let it got me. Okay, because that ain't healthy for no one. All right, so please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. All right, for those of you that chose number 4 with the red dice with the number 5 on it, are you a real one to your loved one? We have the 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords reversed, Art, aka Temperance reversed, 9 of Hearts, King of Diamonds reversed, King of Spades reversed, and the 7 of Diamonds. Okay. So this 3 of Pentacles says the team, Mars and Capricorn. I do see there's a lot of signs here. We have a lot of fire signs, earth signs, and water signs. Okay, there's a little air energy, but I feel like that's more relating to like part of the message, not necessarily zodiac signs. But we have Capricorn definitely in Sagittarius. We have Pisces, Taurus, Aquarius being the strongest signs coming through, but you could be any of those elements. Okay, so they feel like, yes, you definitely will show up, co-build with them, help them reach their goals, help them think about their destination, think of ways to change the community, the family, think of ways that you guys can be successful together and have big plans. Okay, big pie in the sky plans. You guys really help others hone in on their gifts, on their targets, on their what could be their successes, and really encourage people as they're building themselves up and getting to a more successful situation. You might be just as supportive of your friend finally getting a job and flipping burgers as you would be if their own business took off the ground, because you're like, you know what, you're doing what you need to for you, and I'm proud of you. Like, I'm very proud of you for doing whatever it takes to take care of yourself, be stable, be secure. Like, you really support people's root chakra energies, and you could be a little bit like down with the rich in some ways. It's like you want your friends to be successful, but at the same time you don't want them to be charlatans, right? So we do have some anarchists in this group. We have some people decolonizing, which you're badass. Love it. Yeah, so you help people remember to be heart-centered as they're going for their goals. That's what it is. And if they are not being heart-centered, you're definitely there to bounce back and remind them. And you can be very tough into your ideologies and stuff, or just like what is common sense morals to you. Like in this one, the King of Pentacles reverse, they're saying, I remember when this was all trees. So you guys really, you're like, yes, I want you to succeed. I want you to win. I want you to, get what you deserve after all that slow and steady working, but I don't want you to be over here erasing history, erasing culture, taking advantage of Mother Nature. Okay, there's this feeling like you are very sad when people don't go for their inner heart and artwork, and when it's like they kind of give up, right? So this side of the deck, it's all undone. It's just a mess of paint and a puddle, but up here this is some street art going on. So, and there's street art here, and there's this street art of the ancestors, basically, right? Like a cave painting right here that they're thinking about hosing off. So they I think people see you as wanting them to connect with who they are, who their family is, their culture, their lineage, of wanting them to get in touch with their inner artist and be somebody who's very just productive. Like, you have the right stuff. Okay, you have the right stuff within you, and I hope that you can see that clearly about yourself. It's how people feel. They want you to or they feel like you want them to crystallize who they are, and that you try to help them with that. At the same time, people can feel like you don't always meet your own goals, and that you can take it so hard if you don't feel like you are really stable or secure, if you don't feel like you live up to your own standards. You guys definitely can also be part of the crew that can have your existential crisis and really feel overwhelmed about how the world is, and feel like, have your moments where you feel like, is it all for naught? You can have some PTSD and different triggers, and have been through some really hard knocks, as I say, some really tough things, and maybe you go out there and you try to change the world, and when that pushback comes after so many times, it's very difficult for you. I feel like you're somebody who suffered a lot of loss, loss too, and you have to let go of certain friends or family, and that's very, very, very hard for you to do. So people see you as somebody who really likes to build community with them, and they know that in the long run you're going to be there for them and that you always wish the best for them. Sometimes they kind of wonder where you went, like, okay, you're not showing up, and it's because it can take you almost years sometimes to recover from when you've gone there in the trenches and really helped family members or friends, or been on the front lines with social justice issues. It can really take a long time for you to rebuild yourself financially, or just get that mental headspace where you feel like you can be present and really apply to others. So that is something that people want. It's like people feel like they need to clarify their relationship with you after a while, because things kind of come undone a bit, and it's like, okay, they go from seeing a clear painting to seeing like this unformed palette of paint, and they're like, I'm pretty sure like we still have all the right tools and ingredients, I still trust their heart, but like, how do they feel about me? Like, are we still building something together? Are we still moving forward, or is everything undone now? And it's just, I don't know, I'm just like left hanging in the wind a bit. So yeah, people feel like you will also undo the relationship connection and rebuild it as many times as necessary. Like, you want there to be a really good foundation in the relationship, and you want there to be truth and honesty and reciprocity, and if that's not happening, you will give relationships chances to rebuild themselves. You will give your friends that chance to come back, and they're like throwing the prayer in, right? And I love this one. I think a lot of you are artists and creatives. A lot of your friends are very creative, artistic, very Pisces, Aquarian kind of friend groups going on here. Universal signs, some Sagittarius, Capricorn vibes. So it's like this rebuilding, focusing on resources, but also having that like, let's better humanity and be creative and artists while we do so kind of mindset. But a lot of people feel like, well, you will forgive friends and rebuild and be patient and try to get back to the foundation of the relationship with them and give them certain chances. But once they truly betray you, like, no, you don't keep, that's the thing, you don't keep people that you feel are fake or disingenuine or harmful to like the collective, like the community or the world. Like, you don't fuck with them like that. Like, you have some strong morals, and you understand if someone's growing and learning how to be a better person. But the second you feel like they're just messy and they don't care and they're taking advantage and they have some fucked up theologies, or they're just going to take advantage of Mother Earth or people around them, and steal resources and just be very like, I don't know, capitalist, I guess, then you're just like, no, I ain't about that. You cut people off. You're not dealing with it. So there have been people that they felt like, man, I thought you was really in my corner, and next thing they know, they're blocked, and they're like, wow, like, just for that, like, wow. And you're like, yeah, just for that. Like, how you gonna vote for that person? Yeah, just for that. Bye. Like, I'm like, you feel like you're a loyal person, but you're not going to just give that loyalty to anyone if it's not building a good world and contributing to the team of energy that you're putting out, to make the collective better. People do feel like you don't fully tap into your potential in a variety of ways. Now, part of it is because, they see you as being very talented and just really full of love. People feel like you're perfecting your self-love more and more as you go along, and you're learning not to get so drained. But people feel like, you could be someone who could make a lot of money. You could be someone who could be a vast writer or a public speaker or leader in an even more individual way. You could be someone who could be like extremely successful as an artist, things of those natures, but they feel like quite often you will backlight that in order to take care of your friends and loved ones. So yeah, they feel like you're a real one, like you're real as fuck, like you're really gully, you're in the gutter with them, you're really out here too. Like, they feel like personally, one-on-one, like you're a real one, you're a real person with your friends and family, and they definitely notice that your sacrifices, they definitely notice the struggles that you've been through, and they kind of hope that you are able to go through it with more ease and not have to withdraw so much, and find ways to have self-care kind of along the way and not just burn yourself out. And also they hope, like, they're waiting for the day that they can see you reveal all of your talents and all of your like all your worth, of what you've put on the sidelines for everybody else. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye.